Imagine a silent ocean-like universe, with a lone capsule fleeing from a recently destroyed world. In the canon, she would land on Mount Paozu and change Earth forever. Here, she doesn't. Here, the one who notices the capsule isn't a peasant with a straw hat, it's Whis, the assistant to a grumpy god who just woke up with an itch for battle. Beerus had dreamed again of a Super Saiyajin god, someone worthy of bringing a real smile to his face. When he found out that Frieza had wiped out planet Vegeta before he could hunt down this so-called legendary warrior, Beerus was furious, and he was about to disintegrate the tyrant until Whis pointed out the glowing trail of the capsule, the last Saiyajin, the one the universe doesn't give up on its own. A god creates, brings, commands. And Kakarot's destiny is rewritten. No mountain, no grandpa, no headbutt, Savior Kakarot grows up in the backyard of a god of destruction. And the god doesn't educate. He's there to sharpen Goku, so Goku's childhood becomes a laboratory. Races under absurd gravity, lessons in stillness under a miniaturized meteor shower from Whis, Kai fasts to learn how to feel the silence between atoms. When Goku fails, Beerus uses pain to teach him. Broken bones, healing, training, and repeating the cycle. The perfect cycle of Zenkai, turned into an applied method. The boy quickly learns the rules of the house. Here, power isn't a prize, it's just a tool to reach your goals. The Super Saiyajin scream? Beerus says it's just noise. The shine of Super Saiyajin 2? Nonsense. Super Saiyajin 3? Big hair and a small brain. Kakarot understands the lesson like someone swallowing glass. God doesn't seek another golden ape. It's about what distinguishes the refined on the path to worthiness. That's where Whis steps in, smiling as he scolds and channels Beerus' anger into skill. Breaths that lessen your presence. Silent steps, fists striking before choices are made. If you have to force it, you still haven't learned, he repeats. Months turn into years, and Goku dedicates himself to living up to the expectations of this lazy cat. In the early morning silence, as you noticed, you're about to see one of the channel's best videos. First, I have a life-changing message to share. If Goku trains daily, your money should too. Here's a message to open your mind. Everyday currencies such as the real are issued by governments. In other words, they can lose value depending on the decisions of our Brazilian politicians, with more printing, more inflation. Bitcoin is decentralized and has a limited supply. And why do you need a Bitcoin? Unlike the real, which the government overprints and devalues, Bitcoin is truly scarce. Only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist, and 90% are already mined. In the past decade, the real dropped over 50% against the dollar, while Bitcoin rose by over 4,000%. Historically, having Bitcoin is, at the very least, a way to protect your wealth and, realistically, to multiply it significantly. But when is the best time to buy? Bitcoin is in a bearish phase, and September is usually a weak month. Next is October, known as Uptober, which has often brought bullish relief. It's all about strategy. And to start off right, MB, the largest digital asset platform in Latin America, with over 4 million clients. Transparency and compliance with the central bank, Comissão de Valores Mobiliários and Ambima. They launched an amazing campaign, open your account for free. It took me 2 minutes. Invest at least 50 Rs in any asset and get 25 Rs credit on MB within 7 days. This is your opportunity to secure your future and your family's, and I only promote Bitcoin here because I truly believe in it. After studying economic principles and concluding the superiority of Bitcoin over currencies like the real and over the honesty of Brazilian politicians, to maintain my value, I became a Bitcoiner. Now all my savings are in Bitcoin, not real. Historically, holding real leads to devaluation, while Bitcoin offers great leverage. I had great results with that. Don't ignore your future. The link's in the description and pinned comment. Scan the QR code to download the app on your phone. Even if you're not investing now, it's worth checking out. The choice is yours. In the quiet early morning, the impossible happens. Without ritual or 5 pure-hearted Saiyajins, Kakarot first feels the cold fire of divine ki. His body calms, his spirit settles, crimson hair appears, and everything aligns. Beerus watches without mocking Kakarot for the first time. As the heir of destruction is born, Earth without Goku turns tragic. Pilaf briefly acts as dictator. The Red Ribbon Patrol, now a police state, are the ones truly in control. With the technology of Dr. Gero, not the old man with the rings, but the engineer of autonomous weapons. Oppression and hopelessness come together like heavy clouds, and the seal of Piccolo cracks early. The old demon doesn't find a boy with a magic staff. He finds tanks, drones, and reduces them to scrap with a snap of his fingers. Now he maintains order through fear, ruling as a king by terror. But that terror fuels a dark magic. Babidi senses it from afar and arrives with Dabura. Upon arrival, he notices the misery. Dabura interferes, triggering the awakening of Majin Buu. In the cruelest version, an entire planet begs and then explodes. Bulma, Kami, and Yajirobe become memories, and Jiro never creates Android 17. Future Trunks will never exist. The timeline breaks silently. Back on Beerus' planet, the divine student receives his first mission, cleaning. There's no poetry in the term. There's a tyrant who disturbs my peace. The name, do you know it? Kakarot doesn't travel to Namek, doesn't play ego duels, doesn't let the possession end. With the teleportation taught by Whis, he appears inside Frieza's ship. Two gazes meet, the Emperors as convinced as ever, and the Saiyajins, who learned to kill intentions before blows. Without shouting, without transforming, he wipes out the special forces as if blowing out candles. To Frieza, "Your power is great, but wasted." A thin Kai beam reduces the rest to dust. Beerus grins slightly. Whis notices. It worked. The final test? The call comes from above. The Supreme Kaioshin trembles as Buu bowls with galaxies. Now is the chance to test the sharpened blade. Kakaroto descends calmly, having already hidden his hand. Buu regenerates as Kakaroto watches. Whatever explodes, Buu restores. Whatever cuts, Buu heals. Until the Saiyajin asks, "What if, instead of hurting, I undo?" Then he shapes his Kai with the texture of a Hakai. Not Beerus' signature, but a concept he learned the hard way. An energy that doesn't explode, it erases from existence. Buu screams, but no sound comes out. The title, the strongest below Beerus and Whis, goes to Kakaroto, but he doesn't celebrate. He didn't learn that. Beerus doesn't applaud, instead he tightens the screw. "You're not mortal, kid. It's my project, grow or disappear." That wasn't a metaphor. In God's mind, time flies. Years become pages that turn themselves, and on one of those pages far away, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz occupy the ruins of Frieza's empire, with Namek as the provisional capital and Porunga as a kind of central bank. The self-proclaimed king collects the spheres and purchases what training can't promise, immortality. He wants to one day settle the score with the faceless ghost who killed his master. Kakaroto, for the first time, feels something not driven by orders, his own purpose. Surviving isn't enough. To grow stronger, I need a rival. And there's a rumor of a demonic energy lurking around Namek, along with 3 Saiyajin signatures far below the minimum tolerated. Whis raises his eyebrow, Beerus shakes his head. It's time to see if this sharp blade really doesn't break. Namek has never been so silent, without Frieza's shine. The leaders now are 3-tailed shadows, Raditz, Nappa, and above them on an ageless throne sits Vegeta, the immortal king. Porunga has become the sovereign's luxury secretary, and the Namekuseijan villages pay tribute with work and silence. There is no Gohan to make friends, nor Kuririn to balance things with compassion. There is only order through fear. Until Kakaroto lands. Whis senses 4 presences, 3 Saiyajins and something sour. An ancient magic lingers at the bottom of the key. Beerus orders to proceed. The herald of destruction falls like a silent meteorite. Raditz gives a family speech. Nappa uses military intimidation. Kakaroto just observes, decides, and eliminates. 2 fewer marks on the map. No change, no noise. This echo calls Vegeta. He arrives unhurried, wrapped in undying pride. Literally. A thin smile, a wish on his lips, to prove immortality can be authority too. The first shock is didactic. Kakaroto kills him as if testing a magic button. Vegeta returns laughing. Again. The second is harsher, the third humiliating. A cycle of resurrections sets the battle's rhythm. The Herald of Destruction gets the game. Each return brings Vegeta back a little stronger. Kakarot offers a wicked deal. I'll kill you as many times as it takes until you get it right. The king grits his teeth. Power without risk becomes a prison, and then the air trembles. A circle of runes, a language that was born nowhere. The sorcerer Goma tears through the sky of Namek and summons Porunga as if turning a doorknob. He seeks humiliation, not power. Make this warrior a child. Light dims, muscles and hair shrink, and Kakaroto diminishes. Divine Kai, restricted by a rule he never accepted, is suppressed. Vegeta laughs loudly. Is this the so-called Herald of Destruction? Goma forgot a basic rule. Remove the lid and what's trapped escapes. Without the god's cold fire, only primal instinct remains. That's what Kakaroto had secretly trained. Like carrying a dry match in a pocket, that child's body is covered in reddish fur. The arena freezes. It's Super Saiyajin 4. This isn't just a call to the past, but a shortcut through savagery. A lesson on a grand scale, not a fight. Goma tries seals, casts curses, summons shadows, but Kakaroto cuts through everything with surgical precision, as if that new body was made for this. The demon falls, the spell's cracks heal, and Porunga grants another wish, restoring the Herald of Destruction to adulthood. Not from vanity, but protocol. Beerus won't tolerate disrespectful forms. Kakarot knows. Vegeta, still panting from accumulated resurrections, proves it once again, from the brink of death. When the Saiyajin raises ki similar to Hakai, he doesn't release it. Weech puts his hand on the student's shoulder. Change of plans. Rumors travel faster than spaceships. Belmod from Universe 11. Have you heard about a mortal who wields God Kai? He then proposes a little game that pleases the most demanding audience there is. Zeno makes the Tournament of Power happen. Beerus needs a team. The first name is inevitable, Kakarot. The second, an irony. He swallows it. Vegeta, immortal. Fear is a spice you lack, my king. You'll learn it the hard way. The board is set. The arena appears out of nowhere, surrounded by gods who whisper like children. Before the match, Zeno swings his legs as Daishinkan smiles without showing teeth. Belmod nudges. Are these the ones, Beerus? A soulless puppet and a king who hides behind a drawing? Beerus just returns the look. The long-lived stay silent until the bell rings. The fight starts. Vegeta stands at the edge, arms crossed and arrogant. Immortality gives false courage. Amid the chaos, Kakaroto closes his eyes. He doesn't protect the universe or friends, he only locates the strongest as his function. On the other side, the Pride troop spreads out across the board. Toppo, with his sense of justice, goes after the king and instantly kills Vegeta. A moment later, Flesh, Bone, and Pride return. How do you defeat someone who can't die? He taunts, but Toppo remains unafraid. Annoyed, Dispo attempts a shortcut. Kakaroto, trained by an angel, moves at light speed and lands 1,000 strikes per breath without blinking. Before the decision, he grabs the speedster by the ankle, bends the joints where physics asks for permission, and throws him out of the arena. Without transforming, without shouting, he teaches that speed without awareness becomes just a clumsy noise. The stage lights shift. Jiren opens his eyes, not in surprise, but with interest. It's the wall that Kakaroto has been searching for since childhood. The Herald of Destruction ignites, revealing the red of the god. The blow that shakes the stadium is stopped with just one finger. Kakaroto, for the first time since the planet of Beerus, encounters a non-Beerus. He trembles with useless rage. Such is his limit. Jiren speaks. Whis holds back, noting weapons crack before breaking. Jiren says little, but is precise. Your strength is just a shell. You have nothing to fight for. Every word lands deeper than any punch. Goku never had willpower, only orders. The giant unleashes a raw blast, sending the Herald of Destruction into the abyss. As he falls, a flash tears through his memories, hurried hands, a capsule, parents who chose hope within the end. Rage arrives in blue. The body halts midair, then returns like an arrow, the Super Saiyajin blue. His blows now have soul. Jiren responds. Stepping onto an invisible step, the arena sings. Vegeta watches from the corner. He doesn't feel fear of death, he can't. He feels envy of the risk. Jiren is a mortal who has surpassed the gods. As a king, he remains unchanged. Immortality, which was once a trophy, is now a shackle. There's no Zenkai at the cliff's edge if there's a safety net. The Kakarot versus Jiren clash is nearing its breaking point. A strong punch from the bald guy knocks out the blue and leaves Goku nearly defeated. From the stands, Beerus growls, "Show everything, kid." Another memory surfaces. Old training, sharp pain, a moment when the body acted instinctively and scratched a god's face. Kakaroto's gaze turns silver. His aura changes texture. Goku's answer is Ultra Instinct. What follows is the dance of blade against blade. Jiren pushes the universe and Kakaroto slips through its cracks. Strikes don't come from the mind, but the body, which seems to hear a unique song. The final clash throws both of them off the stage. Kakaroto falls, eliminated, and Jiren too. Before the void claims him, the Herald of Destruction calculates, taking whoever he can with him. Toppo. With luxury supporting actors and loyal pawns, he ensures only one is left, the immortal king. And Vegeta wins the tournament, being, ironically, the weakest among the greats. Daishinkan announces the end, the Super Dragon Balls shine. Zeno waits for the wish like waiting for dessert. What will Vegeta wish for? Beerus adjusts his necklace. He already has what he wanted, the spectacle. Confident that his weapon has another stage, he recognizes his pupil for the first time. A silent show of respect. Is he ready to use the wish on something that will amuse him for centuries? But Vegeta speaks first. His voice comes out low and broken. I wish to be mortal again. The universe waits. The giant dragon doesn't judge, only acts. Immortality ends. The king closes his eyes for a second, as if he's feeling the temperature again. He wants fear, adrenaline, pain. Not out of masochism, but for measurement. Strength that can never fail is always just a rehearsal. Beerus doesn't know whether to laugh or hang himself. Whis gives a slight smile. Kakarot, beaten and looking down from above, doesn't look down on it for the first time. The king, who used to cling to a wish, now reeks of potential. Rivalry is born where there was once no air. A new promise is born. Amidst the ruins of the arena, two Saiyajins face each other with a longing they don't yet understand. The longing for a fight that truly matters. One day they say with a nod, and the board rearranges its pieces. Back on Beerus' planet, the uniform changes. The Herald of Destruction gets a divine outfit, not as a reward, but as a label. Now everyone knows who he is. The god then discovers something unsettling. The limit he saw wasn't the final one. Ultra Instinct was not mastered. It just slipped away. Vegeta, now mortal, once again feels the razor's edge. Every training is fun, but every fight has consequences. He doesn't have the comfort of infinity, but he has back the growth that finitude brings. The king without a crown starts becoming the warrior who could someday bring Beerus the smile he's wanted since his first nap. Far away echoes, a Saiyajin from another tale, the brute born from Broly's snap. Rumors start. A space sorcerer who devours galaxies is now learning to spell Kakarot. There are whispers of gray morality from a planet-eating prisoner. To keep promises, some call him Moro, but that's a different ocean. For now, what matters is the baby who landed on the wrong planet has shown both his best and worst sides. At the same time, worst for mortals who cross his path and best for the story still to be written. If this video gets many likes, I'll post part 2. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Creating a video like this requires a lot of work. Share this with your Dragon Ball fan friend and help spread the video. Thanks for your support. That's all for now. See you.